Hello everybody, this is Edwin, Deputy Editor at OXM, and I'm joined by Aoife, staff
Hello.
writer. That's her, and we are looking at Alien Isolation, a new Alien game from Creative Assembly and Sega.
I'm very excited.
Okay, so the first part of the game we're going to take a look at is the part featuring the alien, and the key thing you need to know about the alien is that there's just one. You've got the one alien throughout the entire game, which is, to all intents and purposes, indestructible.
See, now, I love that idea because going from, I mean, we have to mention it, don't we? Aliens, Colonial Marines, where they were coming out of the goddamn walls.
Yep.
It's good to have one alien that just stalks you the entire time. That is pure, original Alien movie, which I guess is the point, right?
I have to. It does come out of the goddamn wall or walls, depending on the situation. I mean, but yeah, it's a completely different kind of creature. It's not sort of skittish or like fragile or brittle. It's not like an insect like they are in the other games. It's very much this kind of huge alpha predator, which is absolutely going to rip you to pieces.
And actually, it's because you said earlier it's a one-hit kill, right? Like if it gets you, you are dead.
Yeah, absolutely. So the kind of the basic sort of progression is that you are hiding from it and exploring the environment. It's powered by quite a sophisticated AI. Which is capable of obviously picking up on things like light or like machines suddenly switching on, but also will apparently learn about your kind of behaviour. I mean, if you basically, they haven't told us much yet, but if you use certain tools perhaps to sort of deter the alien, to drive it off, it will know about those tools in the future, and it will come up with ways to not be bothered by them. So that's interesting.
Girl. Yeah. Oh, and there's our tracker as well. There was a really awesome bit there a while ago where it had like a pull focus effect, like on the, because I mean it seems like awareness of your environment is so much more important here. Even though it is only one alien, it can move around the ship at quite a surprising rate, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, they described, actually, the way they described the motion tracker when I spoke to them was very much, it's not so much to kind of like help you navigate or survive, it's more just like, how close am I to dying? That's like, so you can see it's got quite a narrow field of view.
Yeah.
When you're using it, as you say, it does. Oh, yep, there's the big boy. Strapping lad he is, but the motion tracker kind of doesn't show what's behind you. It kind of gives you a vague indication if something's there. So, and if you try to run like this,
no, I really love, like, because I mean, even there they are, and breath dead. Like even the lean effect there, like you can tell it's. I mean, that was very Amnesia almost, wasn't it? I mean, it's definitely, they're going for a more survival horror sort of feeling. This one.
Oh, I love the tail. I'm just saying, the tail was the thing that really got to me. And I think you might not be able to hear this in the video, but the other thing is that the alien is really heavy, and you can hear its footsteps, and that's quite useful because if the motion tracker isn't working properly, then you can get around it. But it's not necessarily going to save you, and it's very traumatic.
That would be interesting, like, as well. I mean, given how many alien films there's been and how many alien games now there've been, to actually make that, scary again is going to be quite a task for them.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how they try that.
So, tell us about the main character, because we are a Ripley, but not the Ripley, right?
Indeed not. You are Amanda Ripley, who just happens to be Ellen Ripley's daughter in a strange coincidence.
Wow, imagine that. And she's in a ship that isn't the Nostromo, but is pretty much the Nostromo.
It's kind of similar, yeah. She also happens to be sort of like an engineer who likes to go into space and
following in Mama's footsteps. Why would she go on to a mining ship after all that her mother's been through? I don't even know. Well,
the story is that, I mean, this is a space station, and essentially she's contacted by somebody, some mysterious guy who says, and this is about sort of 15 years after the events of the film, and she's told, come to the space station. We might be able to solve the mystery of how your mother was mysteriously lost in space.
Okay.
So, yeah, of course, she comes here with the crew. Something goes wrong, would you believe?
She's all alone.
Yeah, and she's stuck on the space station, and she's, as you can see, kind of fairly, she's not a Marine, she's not, by any means any sort of combat type. She has no kind of guns, or at least not that we know of so far. Just talking about the interface and mechanics in general. I mean, you can see that there's no real HUD as such.
Yeah.
There's no health bar. If you're caught by the alien, it's going to kill you. It's not going to be a case of biting 50% off. All the kind of the sort of like, I mean, the motion tracker is probably the most sort of arcane the interface gets.
So you start off with pretty much nothing except that tracker, and you've sort of just got to use your wits and your ingenuity to get it alive. I mean,
there's a kind of a weapon customization system of sorts, or a tool customization system. I mean, I don't know much about it yet, but you can find kind of gel in crates, and oh dear. We'll find out what that is shortly. Yeah, you can use it for things that I'm not being told about yet, but it probably won't be going towards creating a new sniper rifle or something. It'll be something much more kind of makeshift and homely.
Well, it's definitely a welcome change after kind of, Marines and, meathead soldier types, to have someone who's actually got a little bit of character, a little bit of backstory in the sort of alien mythos as well, and someone who, actually has to have interesting things about them in order to survive. So it's pretty cool.
And I do worry in some ways, because it verges on being a bit of a kind of a cut paste at times. It's just like, okay, we wanted to have Ripley in the game, but we can't have Ripley in the game. But yeah, no, you're right that she's a much more interesting character straight off the bat than anybody in like any given Aliens game. I mean, she's also the kind of, you may not be able to hear it here, but her kind of, the way they build her dialogue and her sort of like her exclamations into the level script is very well judged. It's never feels intrusive. Never feels like she's talking over you or kind of having too many sort of notes to self.
Yeah, man, that is a creepy torch beam right there. It kind of reminds me of Slender. Like, it's that sort of that really atmospheric, really creepy kind of like horror look, where it's all about the lighting and like things like that jump scare, that robot. It's just to mess with you. That's what this game is about. But like, it seems as though that's fine, like, for this short clip, but how are they going to stretch that out into like several hours worth of gameplay? Like, what else kind of is there to it?
Well, that's kind of the big question, because I mean, the sort of basic flow is that obviously there are these exploration bits, and then you'll meet the alien, and it's all about surviving and hiding, picking your moment, probably using aspects of the environment and your tools to get past the alien, and dealing with the alien's ability to learn.
Right.
But yeah.
But are there going to be other enemies beside? Is it literally just that one alien the entire game, do you reckon, or is there going to be more?
It's only one alien. They've spent the most unbelievable amount of time getting that one alien just right as they see it. But there's talk, and this is all strictly unconfirmed, completely rumor central. There is talk of kind of other sorts of enemies. I mean, humans and possibly robots. In fact, you might see at some point an android who's had a bit of an accident and lost his lower half.
So there's going to be milk everywhere, essentially.
Yeah. But I don't think. I mean, they obviously, we've heard developers say, "Oh no, it won't become an action fest." We've heard them say things like that before. But I do believe them because the kind of the
he's drinking the water.
He's drinking it's these small touches.
Someone left that bird in charge. That's why the ship went down. Someone left him in charge of productivity.
Actually, that's a kind of little bit of 70s memorabilia there. The whole, the thing they said is that every prop in the game world has been created in a way that could have been done on the set of the film.
That's quite cool.
So it's all like, everything has to be, exactly grounded in realism in that way.
So Ed, given what you've seen so far, I mean, I have to say I'm pretty intrigued here, but you've actually played some of it. Is it finally an Aliens game that is going to be worth our time and our money?
Do you know, I think it could be. I mean, there are things I'm worried about, but yeah, this is incredibly impressive so far. And you can read more about it, segue, in our new issue, which is on sale 17th of January. It's our cover story. So there's loads of info in there.
I look forward to it.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
We get to shut the book. Ripley.